Welcome. This is Crimey Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is where we have fun with words and numbers. And I have been tempted to just end my presentations for today, but no, spirit moves. Okay, and so really wanting to have more fun with this. This is so delicious. So I can feel my voice is a little bit tired, but I'm going along with it. Okay. So basically, I hope you get a chance to see about, I think it's three presentations I've done on the number 10, but it's really pertaining to male, female, man, woman, and seeing how we have been making sense of ourselves, how we have been creating our sex or gender to create balance in the earth, and really making a sense of self, because this is what this these presentations are about, is helping us to make sense of ourselves. Okay, so of course, what we have seen here is that in each of these three, I know it's a little bit crowded, so I didn't want to sort of erase too much, and I didn't want to leave it too crowded either. But let's look at the common denominations in, or common factors in these here. So we have H in each of these three um, terms. I say terms because, okay, so we say he, his, and him. Okay, I can't help but think of him, which equals three. Of course, we see as three as the breast, or that which nurtures, and I can't help but think of the hymn as a hymn in that is being sung. So which goes we could more or less see the waves, that thing that puts you to sleep. Of course, the child is always or often falls asleep while being fed on the breast, hence we call the Passover. So they not only go through the Passover on the breast, like I have been talking on these presentations, that I see the breast as the metaphor or for the Passover. In case you are new to this channel, this is where we are hinging or presentations on the word sacrifice, meaning like the Last Supper, where Christ had the Last Supper with his disciples. So I have been drawing on these terms here of the genders, and looking at how they play out, or how we have been using them. So here, for instance, we see the three comes in that luck. So three, we have the softness. We could see the softness in these letters. Of course, the L not so much, but it takes us forward. We could see it gives us a movement or a direction of going forward. All right, to the right. Okay, and the U is really like a tube. And the C is also could be like a tube, but also we see it denotes I. So there is an aspect of the water, the softness of that which births, with number 9 here on the 3. All right. What I really wanted to point out here, because I was what I saw looking at these objectively, of course, I felt that the H in all of these words, the H, of course, has a numerical value of 8, which in itself is saying it's complete, it's whole. So it's whole, it's infinite. So, okay. So I wondered what the other numerical values would come to if we extract or the eights out of these and see what numerical values we could come to on each of these separate genders. Okay. And then I thought, okay, 9 and 4 is 13, 9, 12, 13. Yes, that's correct. So I thought let's just try this out. Okay. There is so much to all of this because the H is like a ladder. So so if we could see. Now, perhaps it's no wonder that we are told about Eve having ate of the fruit, of course, of the tree of good and evil, um, would mean we could see that the H here is in the middle, and that would mean as if it's like showing separation. So basically, the 8 or the H is 8, but when we have the 8 in this way, so we could say the S, that's what happens when I'm tired, okay, and then we could have the E, this is 5 here. So in actual fact, this would be 6. So we see where 6 is formed here. It's just showing, just playing about with words here and seeing what correlation comes, how it correlates. So all these eights, and so we could see like the chain. We could say it's like the ladder because the 8 as well is like a ladder, but the ladder becomes a little bit distorted. Let's try and put it in order. Okay, I'm going to rewrite. So it would be S, H, E, and H, E, R, S, and H, E, R. Okay, so basically there's the ladder. Okay. So 8 is really what helps us to see, to elevate us. So we could, when we see, we are, we become eye open, of course. We become whole. That's when we are able to see the fullness of the beauty or whatever it is that we are. And I'm smiling because on the timer is number 8. I love it when this happens. Okay. So back to seeing how these play out. Okay. So let's start at the beginning. So this is 13, and of course this is 5. So 13 is 4, and is, so that's 1. It's 10, but equals 1. So all right, so we'll say 5 here, and that equals 4 plus 5 is 9, and 1 is 10. Interesting. And it also correlates with Adam. It also correlates with man, and I think this is really delicious here. We can still see how it all works out. So man right here. So 5 and 4, 5, 9, and 1. That's really interesting. Okay, all right. Let's see what happens here. S is 1, and 5 is 5 for E. So that's 6, 6, and 9. Okay. R, that's 10, and 5, 15. So that's another 6 because 15. So that's another 6. Okay. And here we have 9, and 5 is 14. So that's 5. So basically we have 6 plus 6 is 12, and 5 is 17. Let's have 17 here. 17, 1 plus 7 equals 8. Now that makes sense too. That makes perfect sense. This is how we see the perfection of the numbers, how they interrelate, and that in itself is letting us know that even when we see things that we thought, oh, I hadn't seen that before. Well, why have we been using certain numbers in a way? For instance, why have we been using the symbol for 7, the number 7, as it were 2, or 2 is 7. So we have been in this mixed kind of understanding with what we are doing, and in terms of the numbers that we are facing every day. So basically there are people who knows about this language of numbers, who would know how to assign telephone numbers and how to assign barcodes and things that they would get us to purchase or buy into, but we do not understand it because we are speaking the language in a different way. We have been taught in a different way. And so I feel it's important that we understand that there is another way. Okay. And there we can see with the feminine aspect here. Of course, as I say, we see all this age. It's like telling us there's the chain that is unbroken. It's the 8. Each 8 is a symbol of infinity. So it's that infinite wholeness we have here, and it's 6, which we are the number 6, of course. Now, the number 8 here, which I like, as I say, we could see it's also still represent a representation of the ladders that we are climbing. And it's important that we understand about the ladders that we climb, because oftentimes when I see an H, it gives that masculine element that I think of a man. And of course there's an H, you see H for hotel or H for hospital, and there's a man climbing on a ladder, and of course you don't see yourself in this context at all. You don't even see the H in you. And so it is important that we see who we are. Here as well, we see there's another thing I really would like to capture here. In these feminine sections here, we also have free fives. Free fives, which is in the 3 E's. And so that I really want to capture. I have done shown how the 3 and the E of course coincides well. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 E's. We could say that there were 5 E's. Of course 5 is still denoting Eve. That's the number 5 for Eve and the number 5 for Christ. Okay, and E. So we see that M here, it's 4, but we can still turn it around and see that all of these can be E or 3 or 5. Okay. But the 3 5s here for people in Britain, I don't know if this is abroad as well, but we have 3 E's here. 3 E's meaning E, E, E. I think a lot of people will recognize that as a mobile. I'm not advertising, but it's a mobile network, EEE. And I think they did their homework. This is all I'm going to say, because this is 5, 5, 5. And when we add 3 5s together, that's 15. Of course, 15 is 6. Haven't they really tapped into our makeup? They have done this beautifully. In fact, everything is in our makeup but here with the E, which is part of the earth and part of the heart. It Yes, and as I continue to say as well, it's that three vibration. It's not only E, so they have three E's. So we could have one, two, three. Okay, this is not the best. Let's do the three E's. We can do better. One, two, three. So that would be the breast, the buttocks, the three B's. I'm sure we have, or the cheeks, whichever. It's just what nurtures. This is what I'm saying. Okay, so and of course, the three M's, like I said as well, when Christ made that comment about woman. So there's the M's, the three M's are there in this section here, which is another flower, of course, another flower. Okay. Um, what else? We have two nines here as well, which is birthing. Two nines are 18. Of course, eight is that. Two nines 18, that would be 9, so it's the perfect number of birth. We see all these elements here. As I say, once we have 8 here, that is also telling us about the birth, because the number 8 also equals I. The I, when Eve ate of the fruit and gave to her husband. So we see this is the number 8 here, and it falls in line with number 5, and that's the new. And this is number 6, like I have just okay, or the 6 petals, we have that as well. So that's number 6 comes into play here. Okay, and for yes, and we have the two eyes here. Okay, the two eyes are also um, showing in the sacrifice on both sides here. So, of course, if the man is always on the ladder or the journey, here we have the H, this is what I was talking about. But it's really man remembering that we, woman, we are men or man. In fact, man is the species. Okay. I think, yes. So, of course, we are man, but men equals 5 as well. I was just trying to remember this. Okay, men also equals 5. And of course, the hair, when we turn this upside down, MEN, we have men. So let's just do men hair just to ensure we've got this right. So that is 5, 5, and 4. So this is 10 and 14. So this is in direct correlation with Mother Eve. So when we are talking about men, we are talking about Eve. Okay. So Mother Eve, we should probably say is man. So man is Mother Eve. Okay. So I hope you have found this fun. This has been very delicious for me, and yes, looking at all these the male, the female, and how, of course, all this H. So we have this H. In fact, it just reminds me, this is like the DNA. Well, it's not just, but it, yeah, okay, somehow. So this is also a reminder of the DNA strand here. So where this S is, oh, this is interesting. So this S for she is on the side here. This is probably a representation of saying where there was a disconnection or where the eye is open. Whatever it is, from here we see that, oh, perhaps that's where it was made whole. Okay, all right. So I hope you have enjoyed this, because when we add it all up together, we see that it does, the womb is here for woman. There's the womb. the 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 eight. The eight is really that womb. So okay. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found it fun. Do like, subscribe, and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-love. Stay blessed, stay bright, be filled, be blissful, because we are planting new seeds. Namaste and spill over with love.